And we are live. Hello. Just give me a second. For the most part, I do enjoy using Prism Live, but if I could change one thing, I'd make it so you could, like, lock the windows. Oh, dimensions. So anyways, this is Frostpunk. If you can't tell what it is, basically it's a city builder, with the catch being that, well, the game happens to take place in a I guess you could say second ice age. I know that might seem a bit odd, but I was trying to figure out if the correct term was post-apocalyptic or what. But anyways, long story short, I recently gave this game a spin because, well, of all things, a mobile game, like, I saw this ad that was basically like a mobile version of Frostpunk, and I realized, oh yeah, I had that game. So I figured, why not give it a shot? I've had a few false starts, I guess you could say. When I can unlock you, it's gonna get so much better for everyone. I can actually afford to give the kids. It's double rations now. What should I go for next? Faster gathering will benefit everything, so why not? It's actually very interesting. Like, I would have guessed that coal would be the thing I'd run out of most, but surprisingly, I actually find that I run out of wood or food more. The source of wood crates I was using has been depleted, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. We've got this sawmill, and it should last us for quite a while. I am concerned what we're going to do once we run out of trees, since, like, currently what I can do is just, like, dismantle it and move it towards another source of trees, but as you can tell, those trees are limited. I wonder if they'll be like... Oh, that's not good. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure I didn't like miss anyone in chat. So, even though I was technically up until recently like breaking Twitch's policy about not simulcasting, although I don't think most people knew it was a policy since I had seen a few other streamers do it. I might as well post how I feel about having streamed on Twitch for roughly over a week in comparison to how I felt about YouTube. To be honest, I actually didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. Like, I started off with YouTube because, well, it struck me as the best option. And because, for the most part, I hadn't heard anything bad from streamers about it. Let's see what happens. Like, I'd heard bad things from video creators. Like, I knew there was going to be problems. Like, I would probably have expected to run into those if I'd gone with one of my ideas, namely becoming a video essayist. Looks like the best option for me would be increase the amount of hunters' huts. Like, I can't say how I fit in with, like, the Twitch community, since, well, I haven't really done any collabs. Like, I've spoken to some other streamers who've done on streams, mainly on Twitch, but first expedition brought back. Feels good, although actually, yeah, I was going to say something negative, but then I realized what do I want to research next is the question. Coal thumpers are probably the best bet since, well, my current stockpile is running rather low. Which one do I want to go to? And to give these houses streets, which if you can't tell, this game is supposed to take place in the United Kingdom. I think the United Kingdom. I wonder if it's possible to, like... I can eventually unlock better sources of... If I can get that hot house... up and running, I might be able to switch people over to back to regular. I might be able to... Which it's the cookhouse back to regular meals. What I need the most right now is actually steel. I guess also figuring out how to get more steam cores, these things. Well, that explains it. Fortunately for me, the temperature's going to rise soon. Oh, hey, I didn't notice you. Sorry about that. It's just Frostpunk Unk was blocking part of the chat. But yeah, hello. Apologies if hopefully I didn't miss you. Guess that's what I get for, or not, you know. Oh, double checking things. Let's see here. Where do I want... I guess it's just keep on finding settlements until... I'm thinking it's time... Okay, another hothouse is out of the question, but another hunter's hut, that is within the realm of possibility. And would you look at that? As it just so happens, it gives me exactly what I need. The good news is that this actually does let me solve something that was kind of a problem, namely the fact that I have engineers. That can't be good. So let's see here. What do I want to research next? Range upgrade would let me get rid of these heater. Hey. Trying to figure out what I want to do next for Frostpunk. As you can see, I've got the perfect representation of British winter, minus, of course, the bad healthcare system. I might just reload an earlier save. Oh. Yeah, I actually saw a few streams of this before. Hmm. I have no idea. Here's my question: what do you think the automation does? If it would take over. Worst case scenario, I can drop a better save with. I can load a better save, an earlier save. Thank God for being able to load an earlier save. Let's see here. What should I do? I think I'm going to try and actually stockpile a ton of coal this time around. I think this time around I'll try and go for more food from the hunters' huts. I just opened one. I wonder... Okay, good news is that I've got, I hope, is that I've actually got positive rations and hope. It's tech that I want, not... Fortunately, unlike in the past, this time I actually can, in fact. Provide them with shelter. I would have selected the option to give them all shelter, except, well, I don't have enough wood at the moment. Good news is that when the temperature rises, I'll be able to actually send out some... Let's see here. Do I... Faster gathering would help me. Will help me with everything, so I'll go with that. I think after that, I'll probably finally look into the beacon. First... Oh yeah, I forgot. I had built a hub there for a sec. I might as well ensure that I have the coal thumper ready for... Since I get the feeling I have, like... Yeah, I was going to say, like, one more day's worth of coal. But as soon as I get the coal thumper ready, I can actually... Hey, assuming that I don't... What do I have to do to improve the healthcare quality is the question. Ooh. The coal thumper gets unlocked. Well, now that it is unlocked, what I can do is simply... Wish you could queue up laws. Like, I always find it annoying in games whenever you can't, like, queue up. when you can't queue up either technology or, for that matter, law. Let's see. This isn't good. Okay, the good news is that I do have some hope of finding wood, although I will need to actually get. If only there was as like an. If only I could just like use time as a resource or something like. You know, I get the feeling that in hindsight, what I should have done when I started off. When I was like exploring this, I should have held off on like sending out the beacon until. Like I'd gotten everything else secured. Perhaps I should have gone with faster gathering the first time around. I should probably... I think one thing I'll stay with this time is I'll stick with making soup as opposed to proper food, simply because it was a better way to manage my rations. I can't get any more of these without exploring. What I think I'll do is I'll secure myself a... is get at least one coal thumper up and also some more hunters' huts. Kind of wish that they would let you say that they would instead just let you say you opt to be reminded instead of... Oh, so that's what I would have needed to do. Well, I'm earning new stuff from playing this, so hey. If you want to take lessons from me, go right ahead. I kind of wish there was an option to, like, pump steam under the streets, like how they do in, like, Japan and South Korea to, like, prevent ice. I'm hoping I can get to this, which lets me grow food in crops. Then I'll probably want to go for medical post upgrades. Although these heaters... So here's a question I have. If you would like snap your fingers and basically remove any YouTuber's influence from the platform, who would you choose? For me, I'd probably choose No Bullshit. If you don't know him, he's basically the prototype. Like the original, like, like, he was basically the quartering before the quartering existed. Like, odds are that if you've seen any anti-SJAW grift channel, he's made something at least in the same vein. Like, whenever I see... well, he's not around anymore, so I don't have to worry about, like, him stumbling upon this stream and getting upset. In fact, he actually had a debate with the streamer Destiny a while back, which is generally agreed that he lost. Okay, good news is that with that heater taken care of, we've got things secure, although... Oh yeah, Shane is actually still around, unfortunately. Like, he's actually promoting in conspiracy theories, like... And the funny thing is that, like, his stuff has really come back to bite him, like... The post is deleted, so you're going to have to take my word for it, but... Back in the day, he made a post saying he was... something, which might risk this... Which, if I was... He said he was... something, and, well, long story short... Or one day a lot of people noticed that on Facebook, and, well... Okay, good. I'm short on steel. But, like, it's honestly kind of one thing I actually find really interesting is seeing how, like, some YouTubers will just stay around. Like, you know Tay Zonde, the Chocolate Rain guy? I've actually seen him in the comments section of, like, quite a few political videos. It was like, he's not making content, but who knows, maybe one day I'll see him comment on one of my videos. It certainly is within the realm of possibility. But like the thing about Shane is like have been like using YouTube for a long time, and like I never really watched his content. And while the thing is like I recently heard he was basically promoting conspiracy theories. Now that in and of itself is not something I immediately hate. Like it would really depend on the type of stuff he was promoting awareness. Like if he had been there was this documentary called Secret Societies, which Laserpig talked about, out that was actually like exposing stuff in the secret of that was true about the British government. Like if he had been doing stuff like that about like say MK Ultra or COINTELPRO, I would be behind that. But he wasn't. He was doing like 9/11 trutherism, which I honestly would not be surprised if he did like a video on if he did an anti-vax video. There are some exceptions, like a Joseph Buckley, I'd actually say, has somehow managed to avoid becoming a political nut a case. Hell, he's actually. If anything, I'd actually say in Buckley's case, he actually has made better content nowadays. Hell, Buckley, I'd actually say, has overall improved. The whole like he's actually a lot friendlier with other people on Twitter. Or like I mean, there is one uncreator who seems to be going for a very different an option. This ASMR is called Ephemeral Rift. Like he's like I've if like he's for whatever reason is like going with seems to be like basically trying to go scorched earth, and a lot of people seem to suspect that he's actually suicidal because, well, one thing that a lot of that people who like are depressed tend to do if they don't like go for the give all their possessions away to other people is assassinate their own character. And he was posting like a lot of anti-Semitic stuff, which is definitely out of character for him. I mean, I don't know him personally, but you know, there is one thing I can't help but wonder. You know how those influencer boxing matches? Do you think we'll ever see one of those between like two VTubers who've shown their faces? Like, There wouldn't be much of a point if you had them do like matches is as their avatars, like unless even if it was something like Death Battle, since all someone would have to do is come out with a lore video saying they have the Infinity Gauntlet. It. Now that I think about it, I am kind of surprised that Death Battle hasn't done like pitted two VTubers up against one another. What would be a good match for a VTuber Death Battle? Obviously, it would need to be someone who has like supernatural powers, so or like access to really powerful gadgets. I could hypothetically qualify under the latter. You know what? Let's actually do a reaction to something. Two things. I was originally going to torture myself and reacted to Har Man's SS Sniper Wolf videos. Yes, he actually made some with her, like, which, but I just realized that that Frostpunk has been kind of like lopsided. Nope, never mind. Okay, so it looks like game capture was working after all. As I said before, I really wish this like just let you lock in. There we go. Just gotta edit the dimensions. So, I bring this up because, well, long story short, I may have posted about this creator before, Gar Shadowscale. He's kind of an infamous VTuber. I think, but a furry one. And so you're in for a treat. But anyways, this is about the streamer Garo Shadowscale, who is on Twitch. He's not banned, so I don't have to worry about Twitch hitting me.
To describe connection that a viewer might have with a popular person, as they become a way to
I just realized that that I've had the desktop muted the whole time.
Issue has started to creep into discussions. Parasociality, the word used to describe connection that a viewer might have with a popular person, as they become a way too attached to someone who would barely know of their existence. However, when parasociality was first noticed, it wasn't really a huge concern, because back then there was a clear boundary between fan and creator. But now that boundary has been blurred with the rise of online content creation. Now, the person you're parasocially invested in is someone you could actually talk to on Discord or Twitter or Patreon or through YouTube replies. And that possibility makes that parasocial relationship between...
I have wanted to, avoid the pitfalls of, appearing as someone who, takes advantage of fans. For example, I basically promised myself that the only way I would have a relationship with a fan would be, if they actually meet me in person a few times first. Obviously, I wouldn't have a problem if I got into a relationship with someone and then they became a fan, but ideally, I'd actually prefer to, get into a relationship with another streamer. Or if I had a choice, as opposed to who just, start dating a fan. And
viewer and creator feels so much stronger. Terms such as stan have been embraced and popularized. People have formed entire communities.
I've always found it odd how stan has seemingly abandoned what the original intent of the song.
Now on YouTube, most people try to discourage and decrease this, whilst others elevate it for more and more profit. But how far can you go with parasociality? How far can you elevate it to the point where it's so restrictive it creates an echo chamber of praise? Imagine for a second that you are a young fan, enamored with the content made by a streamer and YouTuber. You love their content, you chat in all their streams, and you decide to join the Discord server, expecting a friendly environment. Instead, what you get is a server with constant surveillance, restriction of speech, banning any other popular personality, and only talking about the leader of the place. What is this, North Korea? Nope.
I could understand banning specific individuals, but for example, if I ever got a Discord server, I'd probably ban my own Discord server. I'd probably ban Elon Musk, although why he would want to join is a different question. But you're not going to see me saying no content. You can't join if you're a content creator yourself. I mean, hell, what I'd probably do is I'd probably actually implement some system where if you have a YouTube channel with a certain number of subs or more linked to your account, you'd automatically get a badge or something. It's what Destiny does, and that works for him great. That works great for him.
Garo Shadowscale is exactly who I'm talking about, a furry YouTuber and Twitch streamer. With around a combined 160,000 subscribers across his 2 YouTube channels and 20,000 followers on Twitch, Garo's done pretty well to make an online career for himself. And it may seem strange as to why there has been so much discussion and controversy about him, because at a passing glance, his channel and videos just seem innocuous. I mean, look at these great Twitch streams.
Oops, forget.
Darius is not bump Dom Hunter at the bot. No drink is not Dom. Love you too, Avenger. How about with me? No, go, no, not no.
Okay, maybe that's not the best showing. Heading over to the superior platform, Garo's 2 YouTube channels are very different. On one hand, there's the normal channel with 75k and full of great gaming videos, and then on the other hand, there's the furry channel. This one's way more popular because it's full of thumbnails with sexualized furries and compilations of gore and inflation mods.
Yeah, as you can Yeah, it seems like for whatever reason, like, if someone's a furry content creator, they'll either have a lot of fetishes present or they won't have any. It's very rare that I find any that are in between. In
1.5 million people have been compelled to click on Garrow's most popular video, which is a montage of a bunch of furries getting eaten and inflated in some degenerate video game. It's quite the legacy to leave behind. Now, it might surprise you to know that degeneracy is not the main interest when people have talked about Garrow Shadow Scale, but rather it goes more towards his interactions with his fans and how he treats them. For example, the Discord server. I can guarantee most of you watching this video are on the Discord server a content creator you like. It's a thought that goes through a lot of people's heads. And for Garrow's server, surely the rules of said Discord server would be pretty simple. Well, why don't we have a look? First off, server rules apply in all of these cases. Do not friend request or target other Wigglies. Of course, we're playing together and there will be conversation.
Wigglies are the name of his fans, if you can't tell.
Towards other Wigglies. Yeah, I forgot to mention he calls his fans Wigglies. Anyway, rule 1, the first rule, the establishing rule, is that you're not allowed to DM anyone else on the server. I don't know, man, I'd probably put my first Discord rule as something like don't diddle kids or follow Discord TOS or if you're
yeah, that's probably what I'd do, something.
Interesting first choice here from Garrow. Also, friend requesting or playing together in games like VR Chat, Among Us, etc. together when I'm not hosting it are not allowed. Just don't organize group activities without me, even if it's just with one other Wiggly. And as always, keep the focus on myself and my content. You can see the issue is starting to form here. Not letting people talk to each other, not letting people game with each other unless it's on there, always putting the focus on him. It's becoming a lot more clear what's happening with this guy. I'd love to see how this guy would react if they like beat the Ender Dragon without him. He'll get his like Discord secret police on him or something.
You know, for the record, I'd like to state that, like, if I ever get my own Discord server and fans want a game without me, the only time I'd complain if it was would be if it was a game that I explicitly said I wanted it to play with fans, or like they were trying to like upstage me, like they were doing the exact same thing at the same time I was. But like if they wanted to stream a game of like, I don't know, League of Legends at the same time I was streaming Hearts of Iron 4, by all means, I would go for it.
Hear me! New law in the city! Move! Time to get to work!
Also, as mentioned in server rule number 1 and in my Patreon disclaimer, active streamers / YouTubers cannot claim these rewards or even be in my Discord server. If at any point you start streaming or making YouTube videos, you will lose your rewards and you will be removed from my server. Damn.
Hold on a second. What about it? What if those videos were like clip compilations or whatnot? I don't know about you, but I kind of feel that that should be an exception. And honestly, again, like, I'd actually encourage other content creators to join my Discord as long as they actually wanted to contribute and not just like advertise.
Even the fucking YouTubers are banned. It's just like North Korean TV. There's only state-sponsored broadcasts allowed on this Discord dictatorship. Even if little Timmy wants to start up his Twitch career, that's a no-no, fucko. All the attention here has to be on Garrow Shadowscale, our supreme leader. There's also another set of rules in the server which includes all the previous ones, but also has this little detail. Number 5. No NSFW/fetish/gore content, or link/discussion of relevant websites. Okay, that's a good rule. Then we got no OC/Sona artwork/discussion unless it involves fan art of/with me. Well, that just about sums it up. You could say that Garrow's restricting Discord and preventing danger, and he rules the server with an iron fist, but that iron fist is right up his own ass, and so is he. Plus, I don't think these rules are for safety, as much as they are for fueling this guy's arrogance and god complex. And to further prove that, let's look at his Patreon tiers. Now, my membership tiers are pretty simple. You get Discord access, you get early videos, you get exclusive videos. But Garrow's are a bit more personal and unusual, so skipping the lower tier, we start at $25 a month. And for that, you get to play games on his server, friend him on VR chat, get priority access to gaming with him, as well as early access to videos. Okay, that seems alright. Could be a little self-centered because it does focus a lot about having the opportunity to play games with him, but surely that's not a recurring pattern. Then there's $100 a month, where he says, in addition to previous benefits, you can join me in...
Wait a second.
So, skipping the lower tier, we start at $25. A little self-centered because it does focus a lot about having the opportunity to play games with him, but surely that's not a recurring pattern. Then there's $100 a month, where he says, in addition...
Why did I did skip from 25 straight to 100? Normally you'd go to 50, like... And for the record, if I ever get like a Patreon like this, what I'd do is actually let fans decide on future stream ideas. As hell, one thing I would love to do is like do like a parliament sort of thing for Hearts of Iron 4 where I'd have like 2 houses. First being like a House of Commons, which anyone could join as long as they were watching. Second being like a House of Lords for people who actually wanted to like... who actually did the Patreon thing, and even then I wouldn't do anything nearly as expensive as his. Like 50 would probably be the max I'd go.
In addition to previous benefits, you can join me in VR chat every day in my Twitch streams for hugs together after I finish announcements. Yes,
that sounds
right.
like it's from a cult.
Hugs in VR chat from this guy. Do you want to see it in action? Who am I kidding? Of course you do.
Let me go ahead and hug my love to your patrons. We're gonna hop on over to Terraria. I think that's it for announcements. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Alright, one moment. So, Satoshi, Big Eyes Precious Wiggly, thank you so much for being a WoW tier patron. I love and appreciate you so much, my Precious Wiggly. That makes me super duper happy to see. And don't forget,
there's one thing
I will respond. You are guaranteed.
Even if like this was for a much more reasonable price, my question is, why would you want a virtual hug? Like, if it was, like, I don't know about you, but I'd at least want a hug that was like, I'd at least want it to be like in person, like guarantee eat at like TwitchCon or something.
That as per your rewards. And also, I didn't forget that you're saying Friday would be a good time for the private call. Friday's usually a bit rough for me, but I think I can do it. If not, then we can definitely reschedule, but it will happen, of course. But I love you lots, my Precious Satoshi Wiggly. Thank you for your support and love. You mean so much to me, Precious Wiggly. I'm so happy to have you in my life every single day. And Skyway, Big Eyes, Precious, love to your patron. Holy things are gradually lightening up for you, my friend. You mean a lot to me. Thank you for your support and kindness and love as always. You mean so much to me, and I appreciate you lots. Thank you for everything. Alright, Doug, it's gonna be your turn. Actually, let me double check. Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't fall. No, don't fall. I don't even know where my camera is anymore.
What is this guy doing? I can picture like Garrow writing this in the Patreon perks and thinking he's got like the VR chat Midas touch, or that he's like furry Jesus Christ and his hooks are like blessings. Then, if that wasn't enough, right after he ends stream, he takes individual selfies in VR chat with...
Again, I don't see the appeal of doing this is in VR chat. Like, if you're gonna offer that, at least make it IRL, like, with the obvious caveat being you can't show this on share this on social media unless I've already done a face reveal.
Them with only one Patreon per day. What? Okay, alright, maybe I'm out of my depth, maybe I'm not familiar with these people or the world of VR chat, but I cannot imagine being so socially isolated that you think being hugged and taking selfies with your favorite YouTuber is the best way to fill the void. That's so fucking sad, dude. Holy shit. But hold on, we're not done yet. You thought $100 a month was a limit? Well, if you pay $250 a month, you get everything mentioned and also a 20-minute Discord call with Garrow, as well as one DM every day. Wow, really? One whole DM? God, I'm so lucky to receive one DM from the great Garrow Shadowscale. Also, this feels like a bit of a scam. If you get one private call every day, how are you going to let him know that you want to call? By DMing him. Will that waste your DM? Either that, or he's so terminally online that he'll know when you call, which is probably the right choice, actually. Well, thankfully, if you're willing to fork out another $250 and total it at $500 a month, you'll get a 20-minute private VR chat session and 2 Discord DMs every day. Also, what does this guy do in his 20-minute private voice chats and private VR sessions? I'd wager he's getting a bit of an e-quickie, if you know what I mean. You know, he's giving some out cyber sloppy. Those are the words.
Hopefully he doesn't have a lot of kids in his fan base.
You like this pussy?
Listen, on a real note, on a direct message to the people who are legitimately paying for this, you need friends, guys. Come on. Garrow might put on the facade here, but he's not doing it because he likes you. It's because you give him money, and this guy seems to want to sell anything that's a part of him for the highest bidder. This guy seems like he'd auction his fucking liver for far more than it's worth, and all just to spend the money on, like, gooning to furry porn. He does not like you as a person. He likes you as a way to fill his pockets. But despite that being the obvious truth, Garrow puts up a desperate narrative to show that he really does care about his cult followers. But the way he watches over these people and has like constant surveillance on them is really creepy. Another of Garrow's cult-like Discord rules is that you can only send messages from one channel and only when he's live streaming. To gain access to the full server, you have to attend his streams at a certain time and send messages. It's basically like a social credit system. And this is good context because it helps us to understand this method.
You know, I can understand, like, requiring you to, like, have joined if you want to, like, joined and actually participated if you want to, like, advertise your own streams, but to do that just to access the rest of the Discord server? No.
Hear me. New law in the city. Workday ends. It's off time.
That he had with a fan. Been showing up to most of the Twitch streams, played marbles a bunch of times. My Twitch name is AndrewMTGX. Sorry you've had so much issues with your tech, hehe. You came on the 4th of September, the 8th of September, the 9th of September, the 10th of September, the 14th of September, for a total of 2 hours, 10 minutes watch time. That's not even the full duration of a single stream. I see you sending lots of messages, but they seem to be condensed within short time bursts. Your low watch time suggests you're just coming and going, rather than at least leaving...
You know, I do have to admit that I actually am somewhat impressed that Garrow was able to give that much detail, but at the same time, it is entirely possible someone could be a fan of someone through clips, like clips or VODs. Like, that would be a lot. Also, what if someone just puts it on in the foreground?
The work shift starts.
In, like, the background, it does something else, like, I don't know, does what I'm doing right now. Like, you couldn't really tell if they were actually watching or if they just had this on for noise.
stream open when you can't be active. Due to all that, you don't qualify for regular status. You'll have to do better. Much better. Oh, okay. Well, kinda hard for me to leave the stream on when I'm supposed to be sleeping, but oh well. Yeah, you have to treat his Twitch streams like you're in the fucking military. How delusional is this guy? Well, the answer is very. Hey Zach, I hope you had a good birthday. Just remember to keep the attention/focus on myself and my server/stream. It really felt like you were pushing your birthday topic and gift topic a bit much. Then when you were mentioning that you couldn't post a pic, it felt like you were baiting for a gift serve or for DMs to ask about your gift. Don't do that again, alright? Okay, my bad. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was drawing a lot of attention to myself.
For the record, I will never.
All good.
I do not
Just
have any desire to
yeah,
stream
fuck you,
or to
Zach,
do a
you
collab
piece
with
of shit.
Garo.
How dare you come on my stream and talk about your birthday? The only birthday talked about on twitch.tv/GaroShadowScale is mine, you little bitch. Guys, is it not obvious already? He doesn't care about you. He cares about you caring about him. Wait till this guy realizes that 99.9% of conversations that people have are not about him. He will absolutely lose it. But do you guys want to see Garo when he's actually mad? Well, for some reason, one of his mods DM'd the others in private and was doing some shady shit. And Garo was now no more Mr. Nice Furry. Bare minimum, you can't be in my server anymore. That is where I am most vulnerable, and you are extremely dangerous. I've never seen someone who could build such incredibly strong attachments with my mod through DMs only, and completely behind my back as if, Anon of all people, you turned him. My mind was blown. Just inviting him to our server is cause enough for a ban. But the fact that he built such a strong attachment with him that he wrestled it with me in that biased way for 2 nights. Not only do I want you out of my server, I want you severing ties with him completely on all platforms. And I've already told him to do the same to you.
You know, I could understand, and like, if it was just being upset that mods were doing shady stuff, like, I would say it is a good idea to, like, have mods, to, like, communicate with one another, but if you're going to... But other than that, I have no sympathy for what I cannot understand why Garo wants to do any of what he does.
Won't risk such an incredibly powerful connection like this remaining, or any others forming. It's clear I'll have to be more aggressive towards certain personality types, and perhaps tighten my rules even further than they already are, to further reduce the risk of this sort of thing happening in the future. Even going to so far as to add him to your own emo server, and Lord knows if that might even be escalated in the future. Say whatever you want to oppose that, but it doesn't matter. I wouldn't trust you or anyone. I don't let anyone gain that level of attachment or influence to my community members. Nobody can be trusted with that power. The attachment was so strong that I spent 2 long nights talking with him to break things down point by point, to open his eyes to how dangerous this was. Watching him turn was like watching...
Well, at the very least, we can safely say that Garo isn't using ChatGPT to make these messages.
God bleed, and it all happened behind my back. Let me repeat that. Watching him turn was like watching God bleed. Is this man okay? Does he need to be knocked down a few pegs because he's treating Discord like it's fucking Game of Thrones? Not just me, my whole community. If you really do care about what you've done and sincerely feel sorry, then back off from my community. Cutting yourself from me and my content, but still maintaining these strong connections with individuals you've met through me is incredibly insulting. I hope you see what I mean when I say he has a Discord cult of personality. This guy is on something. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to do armchair psychology, but holy fuck, something is up. So, was he always narcissistic and egotistical, or was it the indulgence and the money and the power he has that changed him? Well, let's hear what he has to say. The first point that Garo makes is disputing further criticism against him, as some people were saying that he was making sexual thumbnails and videos, which was an issue when most of his audience was minors. On one hand,
ooh, this is really concerning.
Videos about games for kids like Bug Snacks, and on the next video, little Timmy will be watching a compilation of a fat inflated furry getting eaten by like a pregnant dragon or something. And Garo's way to respond to this is the classic point. Look at my analytics, guys.
I've seen some people say this is simply not true. YouTube is one of my biggest platforms and some of the best analytics. And if you go down here, you can see that over 70%
more analytics
are between the ages of 18 and 34. Less than 7% of my viewers are between the ages of 13 and 17. So less than 7% of my viewers are minors. The vast majority of my viewers and community over 18 years old.
YouTube has the best analytics. Really, dude? You're gonna say that with all the times they decide to glitch and show literally nothing? This is such an amateur mistake for anyone willing to defend themselves with this point. Audience analytics are not an accurate representation of who watches your videos. Unless your videos are age restricted all the time, it's always gonna be kids, because kids always have the most free time. Why do you think most YouTubers don't post during school hours? Why do you think ad rates go up in the summer and winter holidays? Why do you think they go down when September starts? It's the most obvious thing ever to literally anyone who does YouTube for a living. The next claim that Garo addresses is Patreon.
Now, regarding my Patreon, I've seen that some people have the impression that people have to be pledged to my Patreon to be part of my community or even to talk to me. That's simply not true.
Yes, it is. That's just a lie. One of the rules of the Discord server is that if you're new, you can only send messages of one channel for a limited time. But if you pay, you can bypass that instantly. Otherwise, enjoy only being able to talk on a Discord server for 5 hours, and anyone in every time zone has to adhere to this specific time. Doesn't matter if it's 4 AM for you, that's all the time you got. And then Garo rules and basically tells everyone we can agree to disagree.
Now, I've seen a lot of discussion about my Discord rules. If someone likes my Discord rules and wants to join my Discord server, they're more than welcome to join my server. If someone does not like my Discord server rules, they don't have to join my server. It 100% comes down to personal choice or preference, and you are free to agree or disagree with my rules.
You see, it's not that everyone is absolutely waiting to join your Discord server, it's just a little something called criticizing, and you should probably change your Discord. But if you want to stay in your echo chamber, you do you. Just makes it more hilarious to make fun of you. Now, all of this drama, all of these revelations and screenshots were from all the way back in November 2021. It's not like he's changed much since then, but a year after, he got himself into yet more drama. This happened when a furry commentary YouTuber by the name of Clapped Seal made a video on him in October 2022. And
oh, this is new information for me.
they got around 600,000 views. This then compelled Garo to make a second response. Now, response 1 was 3 minutes long, but response 2 is an hour long. Now, am I gonna break it down? No. Maybe I'm dishonest for not representing his side fully, but this video is so boring. If I break down an hour-long video for just repeating the same shit, no one's watching that, and I'm not wasting my time. I scrolled down to the description and he included a fucking poem as some sort of grand gesture, which already told me enough. It's literally just an hour of a man-child hoping and crawling and molding and squealing. After this, nothing really happened and there was just radio silence. That is until 7 months later, when out of the blue, Garo issued 2 false copyright strikes against Clapseal's videos.
Then
That's
Garo's
not a
attorney
good
lists
sign.
some key points on what I infringed on from Garo's copyrighted work. The copyrighted content includes original art used as a profile picture, virtual reality renderings of an original avatar, i.e. artwork of a green dragon, and extensive video footage filmed and edited by the copyright holder, the copyrighted content. The copyrighted content is reproduced without the authorization or consent of the copyright holder, and is the copyright holder's exclusive content. You didn't hear that wrong. They claim that my video was an infringement because I used his persona, a green dragon, which has made comments left under my videos so much more ironic.
Yet again, another YouTuber who thinks he knows copyright law and can get away with abusing it, when in reality he can't. Also, keep in mind at this point, Clapseal is 16, Garo is around 29. It really shows like the level of man-child we're dealing with here. Also, unlike most copyright strikes where YouTubers have to dispute them by providing their information, Clapseal didn't even have to do anything. This time, YouTube stepped in themselves and said, no, this video's fair use, he's fine.
Thank you,
Which just
YouTube.
makes Garo seem more sad and pathetic than he already is, and kind of shattered any view of his god complex. You're telling me this guy is so important that he can't like take down a video? That's just fucking amazing, and a perfect note to conclude this video. As I write my videos and do the research, I always try to look at situations from different angles and perspectives that others haven't really explored, and I tried to give Garo any props I could. After all, his authoritarian stranglehold in his Discord server is not good, but some of these restrictions on his server could be good for different reasons. From my many cases of covering online grooming, it always seems to start from 2 people meeting on a Discord server, and stopping that definitely prevents the issue. But it dawned on me that even though there could be positives to these restrictions, it's clear they were not made for those positives, and instead made to feed the ego of a narcissist. To me, Garrosh Shadowscale represents the next evolution of content creators, and I don't mean that in a good way. The issue of parasociality, how viewers feel like they're friends with the YouTubers and streamers they watch, it's become more of a big deal, and by watching over his fans, almost like a restrictive parent or even an employer, it's feeding into that parasociality. And for what reason? Well, my view is that Garrow is a man who's incredibly insecure about himself. The furry he plays online, that is an alternate reality he's playing. He sees videos mocking what he does and issues copyright strikes, he refuses to accept that his audience is made of minors, and he plays God in his own circle. Call me crazy, but my theory is that he chose to be a furry, not because it was his interest, but because it was his escape. And he needs all the validation he can get, because just maybe some of it can go through to his true self. Until next time, stay safe and stay toasted.
I'm guessing. Okay. I'm guessing this guy on the screen is supposed to be Garrow, what Garrow looks like IRL. I mean, it could be Toastify, but I doubt since it wouldn't make sense to go from having an avatar to having your IRL persona unprompted like that. Only there was a way to gain in civilians without exploring.
Get to work. Move, people. There's plenty to do. Workday ends. It's off time.
Maybe I should
Hear me.
reload
Hear me.
and build the
New
beacon
law in the
sooner.
city.
I mean, getting more civilians would certainly help. I'll try that.
Time to rest, folks. Work's out today.
This time I'm gonna retry because I know I can actually get enough wood for like full amount.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
What do I want to research? Don't have enough wood to get in another beacon.
Brace yourselves. Hold is coming. Work time. Get back to work. A new law has passed.
I think I'm doing better this time around.
Workday ends. It's off time.
I do wonder, it's like bad healthcare determined by the number of beds that I have? Or by the number of medical outposts I have? I think I'll go for a few more minutes, then I'll call it a stream.
Get to work. Move. There's plenty to do. Listen, everyone. New law is signed. Workday ends. It's off time.
Okay, so let's see here. What law should I...
Hear me, hear me. New law in the city. Your work shift starts. time off.
Looks like I need more wood.
Work time. Get back to work. Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Man, it feels good to actually be able to do what my citizens want. I'm gonna have to open a sawmill soon, but wish this game would highlight what's available.
Get going. Time to earn your bread.
Let's see what they find. Hmm.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Okay, we've got some food.
New law. A new law has passed. Brace yourselves.
Ah.
Get going. Time to earn your bread. End of shift. Go rest all who can. Get going. Time to earn your bread.
And since I'm now, I've actually got a coal thumper up, I can actually transfer these people back. What I really need, it is more people, oddly enough.
Listen, everyone. The law is signed.
Let's see if the observatory gives me anything.
Get going. Time to earn your bread.
Let's see if there's anything else of note that I could use. Ooh, this hothouse would be a good upgrade. If I can just hold off without, like, a lot of death.
Move. Time to get to work.
Okay, for real, I'm actually gonna call it a stream now. Thanks for tuning in, even though... In tomorrow we'll be back with Fear, and I've got to come up with a thumbnail for that, but that's since it's one of the expansions as opposed to the main one. But until then, I'm Andreas Rebel, and I'll see you next assignment. Later.
Time to get to work. Hear me. New law in the city. Time to rest, folks. Work's out for today. Wrap up well. The frost is here. Get going. Time to earn your bread. New law. A new law has passed. Now that